Hello everybody, this is Matt Andrews, Field Applications Engineer here at Altium, and today I'm going to be taking you through a couple powerful features that we have for bill of material management as part of the ActiveBOM document type. So for any component that I have in my Altium Designer project that I'm looking at here in my bill of material in the ActiveBOM document, one of the things that I have the ability to do down here in the bottom section is load in what we call manufacturer part solutions into the components, and that's going to reflect the supply chain data for that particular manufacturer part solution that I choose and for the different suppliers that I'd like to order from. Now, one of the things that I can do for things like capacitors and resistors is if I have multiple manufacturer part numbers that I can represent the same fit, form, and function of that component with, I can load in as many of those as I need to for ordering purposes. So for this particular component right here, this 10 nanofarad capacitor, what you can see is that I actually have 3 different manufacturer part numbers that are going to provide the same function for that particular component in my design. So one of the things that I can do for any of these manufacturer part solutions is, regardless of how many of those I load in, I can reflect all of those manufacturer part solutions in columns here in my bill of material structure. And so to do so, if I have multiple manufacturer part solutions, over here in the supply chain information for my properties of my bill of material document, if I change solutions per item, in this case, say from 1 to 2, for example, what you're going to see is that as soon as I update the bill of material to represent more than one manufacturer part solution, I'm not only going to see the supply chain data for the primary solution, but if I continue to scroll to the right, what I can see is the pricing information and the supply chain data for that secondary solution as well. So again, the real advantage to this is if I have multiple manufacturer part numbers that I can represent the same component with here in my project, I can represent multiple manufacturer part solutions in my bill of material document for ordering purposes in case I need to order from the secondary solution as opposed to the primary. Now, for any supplier solution that I build in, what you'll also notice is that for the particular suppliers that I'm referencing, you're going to see different price breakdowns at different quantities. And so what I can do with that type of information is over here in the bill of material document options, in my production quantity area, if I change this information, say, to represent, rather than 1 board, represent the pricing information for 100 boards, I can see that my price per board will update based on that supply chain pricing data for that quantity. And I can then see for a production quantity of 100 what the total order price would be if I were to go ahead now and order all the components that I would need at the production quantity of 100. Now down here in the bottom right, what you'll also notice is that the tool will run some very powerful checks on the bill of material. And you can see, for example, right here, selected supplier part number has insufficient stock. And so if I take a look at the filters for that particular BOM check, if I actually take a look at the supplier solutions for this one, for example, I can actually see that my Farnell option here has no stock, but my Arrow option here has more than enough. So if I now change the priority of my Arrow solution from 2, or 1 from 2, I can now see that the component now has the sufficient stock that I need, and that particular component is now gone from the insufficient stock filter, just giving me the full reassurance that that particular component now has a correct manufacturer sourcing solution for the amount of stock that I need for this particular project. So hopefully this has been some pretty powerful information for you. And again, as always, stay tuned for more of these tips and tricks coming down the line.